Go ahead and taser that scum if they talk back. Go ahead and beat them up. Go ahead and torture them because they want to kill you. It's meant to get them in an us against them mentality, and to also have people that are angry at the government say, yay, Joe Stack, yay, the guy at the Pentagon, as some people have done, so that the establishment can get the opposition to the New World Order going against their minions instead of actually against the elite. And then it's also meant for just the general public to scare them away from joining a Tea Party or a birther or a truth movement or an In the Fed movement because, oh my gosh, they're connected to violence. So we know the PSYOP. We know why they're doing it. And but yes, the fact that you never see real globalist targets being hit is another indicator. It's always their low-level minions. And so that's the bottom line.
No, I have a small solution I believe would work. It's proactive. It's peaceful.
All right, well, go ahead and get to it.
Okay? What I believe, and every solution has risk, and it's all going to come down to the few in the end anyway. The few, that's all we've got is the few. We can wake a few people up, but most people are not going to get
I understand.
involved.
What's your solution? I got to move quick here.
Well, the solution is they want to take down the banks. People don't understand that it's not going to be a sudden crash. It's going to be a frog boiling in water, just like Salante said. Now, you and Salante said, that people need to get involved. Here's how to get involved. And you can't do it in their face. You have to do it by telling people that it's against the law to tell anyone to take the banks down. You can't cause a run on the banks. Now, see, if you take your money out of the bank, you get to keep your money, and you can defeat the world order.
All right, I'm gonna have to put you on hold and come back to you. What's the caller's name? I'm gonna go back to you in a minute, Mark. But I need to hear it cut and dry. Okay. I'm not sure what your solution is yet, but if you're saying identifying that saying the banks are going down is illegal. The big central banks in October of 2008 said we were going to have a depression to destroy their competition and to terrorize Congress into going against the Bill of Rights, Constitution, and the will of the people. That was and is financial terrorism. That's what Fall of the Republic covers. And they brought down Iceland. Iceland said, no, we're not paying you the money it's not owed. Greece is totally controlled by Goldman Sachs, so they're going along with it. Total raping. Now go ahead, Mark, finish up.
Okay, they're raping us. What I'm saying is, we can't reelect we can't get honest people in because we're not communicating.
Well, what is it? Okay, so that's the solution. We can't get honest people in. What are you saying?
I'm saying that he who takes the banks out first keeps the money. They're trying to take the banks out. They're taking our money. If we were to do it, we the people, this would communicate to our lawmakers that we're on top of this. We know. So what we do is we get together with George Norrie and a few of the others that are willing to take the risk. They can't go for everybody. And we just tell people over and over again that it's against the law to withdraw all your money the week of June 19th. And if everybody gets the message that it's against the law to tell everybody to take their money out of the bank on June 19th, the week of June 19th, guess what people who are listening are going to do? And, if you understand what I'm saying.
They're going to go pull their money out. I appreciate your idea, but I don't agree with it. I'm not saying your idea is cockamamie, but there aren't silver bullets in this. The general public has a fraction of the money. The banks have created thousands of times fiat currency and credit what the entire planet owns and has. That's why they need to destroy the economy to make you go bankrupt so they get your property and land. It's a Ponzi scheme. But when they pop the Ponzi scheme, they get all the real material like Greece's islands and their infrastructure, or Argentina's mines and their roads and their lakes and their fields and their national parks and all of our ports. We're already deep into receivership. I do think getting your money out of the big Federal Reserve banks is good. The Goldman Sachs, the J.P. Morgan Chases, the Bank Bank of America's. It is good to support local banks, credit unions, things like that. But see, when we talk about crash, they're not going to probably crash things overnight and not let you have your money. They're just going to devalue the value of your money. See, the human mind works from a psychological perspective in a primitive way. Like, how do I kill a saber-toothed tiger? Well, I get up here on a cliff and I throw boulders at it. Like, you know, you do one thing and it brings them down. And that's why the movies, it's all Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone or whoever the hero is, going out and beating everything overnight with one big devastating swoop. And that isn't how it works. Okay? You identify that the banks engaged in financial terrorism to take over, that they bait and switched and kept the money and won't say where it went, that they're openly setting up a Bank of the World and taking over the planet right now. See, I had incredible news to get to here, and I wanted to quickly go to calls, but that's why some days I don't take calls. Not that your calls were bad, it just burns up time and sometimes takes us in interesting directions, sometimes not. I have news here in front of me. Dissenters to be detained as enemy belligerents. This is also in Atlantic Magazine. And again, we're going to give you a document cam shot here for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. A detention bill you ought to read more carefully is in the Atlantic. Here's the PrisonPlanet.com article, Dissenters to be detained as enemy belligerents. And this says in Section 5, you can be secretly arrested, interrogated, tortured under the Enemy Belligerent Interrogation Detention Act, Prosecution Act of 2010 for any such matters as the president considers appropriate for U.S. citizens. So we'll talk some about this with Kaiser, but I'm going to have to push off now to the last hour for the big news blitz, where I'm going to break down the big picture here of what they're going to carry out and what they're going to do. I'll come back and we'll talk to Dustin, Monica, Zach, and Melissa. Please have your questions and comments ready quickly because I need to be able to move on. But I still want to hear from you. It's a catch-22.